Taekwondo Life Magazine Live. This is Master Mark Sorianis coming to you from New York City. We are a member of the Believe Network. Do you believe? All week we have been doing daily shows on the Olympics, some sort of topic on the Olympics, but today we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled program just because we have some breaking news from USAT and we want to share that with you. We'll give you a little background. This is a little complicated, but we're going to try to simplify it and give you some basic information and point you in the right direction. But first, a word from our sponsor. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for every online sports betting. Right now, you can receive a 50% free bet of up to $250 on your first deposit to bet on anything from the Olympics to baseball to Formula One racing. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and the spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino games and get in on online blackjack, poker, or whatever you like with 150 slot games. Head over to the website today, get in on the action, and you always use the promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free credit bet or your first deposit of up to $250. Bet online, the game starts here. Okay, so let's get back to it. Many of you may know that in the world of World Taekwondo Poomsae, there were some updates that came out in June 12th. They haven't really been in effect yet, but one of the things that they did was they created some new divisions for pairs and teams. Those included under 50s, over 60s, over 65s. We can get into the specifics of those, but the reason it's relevant is for things like teams and team trials. Now, those teams that were picked back in January in Charlotte now need some new additional additions to be able to compete in all of the requisite brackets. So I'm going to read you from Team USA's announcement, and then I'll read you from the subtext. With the announced new recognized pairs and teams divisions being contested at the upcoming 2024 World Taekwondo Poomsae Championships in Hong Kong, which is going to take place on November 30th to December 3rd, USA Taekwondo will hold special team trials event at the 2024 U.S. Final Taekwondo Championships. Those are going to be held in Tulsa, Oklahoma, from September 20th to the 22nd. Formerly, many of you know it as the Grand Prix Final. There'll be a special team trial event for pairs and teams for these divisions that did not have a winner obviously declared at the January team trial, which took place in Charlotte. The detailed special Poomsae procedure details for the pathway to earn a spot, and you can look that up at usataekwondo.com. The contested divisions at special team trials will be under 60 male, over 60 mixed pairs, over 60 female, over 60 male team, over 60 male female team over male. Contested alternate divisions will be the under 50 female Poomsae team, under 60 mixed pairs, and under 60 female team. Now for a word from our sponsor. Okay, we're back. Okay, so the Grand Prix Final U.S. Open Final Championships will take place in Tulsa, Oklahoma in late September. Okay, and you can register for that now. But for this specific team trial, I'm going to give you a very quick overview. It's extremely complex procedure, or maybe not. It just sounds complex, but once you've done it a while, it sort of falls into place. So I'm going to read from it. They have exactly the same thing. They have the same header here. This document details the path for the team or pair or team to earn a spot at the 2024 USA TKD National Poomsae Team. Remember, this doesn't affect individuals because there are no new individual brackets for competition. This one already lays out all of the pairs and teams that were won in the January team trials, and now goes on to discuss the competition. So the team trials competition format, which is very much like the regular team trials. If a division has only one registered team trial athlete or pair or team, then obviously they immediately make the team. Obviously, there's nothing new and exciting there, right? For recognized Poomsae format, and that's what we're really talking about here because there's no new freestyle divisions. 8 Poomsae for national team spots and 4 Poomsae for the alternate spots. Each recognized Poomsae division performs 8 or 4 Poomsae, one at a time per round. All competitors will perform the first randomly selected Poomsae, followed by all competitors performing the second, and so forth. It's going to be randomized by some sort of an algorithm that goes round by round, and therefore the same person can't go first twice in a row, right? So they'll continue to do that, which is great. Okay, and then the selection of the winner, this is what gets complicated for people, but I'll try to go through it easily. It's based on 2 things. One is cumulative score. The first method will be the cumulative score method of all rounds for competition. At the end of 4 or 8 rounds, the scores across the Poomsae performed for each team or pair are totaled. The pair or team who has the highest total score will be declared the winner. That's pretty simple, right? In a case of a tie, the winner is the pair that has the highest presentation score. Why? We're talking about recognized Poomsae. We always defer to presentation score. If the competitors are still tied, all the scores received during the competition are considered. In other words, you add back in the high and low scores that were dropped. If it's still tied, they have to perform a randomly selected Poomsae. The second method for placement during each round of the Poomsae. Each round, at first, second, third, and fourth, will be awarded to the competitor and the number of wins will be recorded. At the end of 4 or 8 rounds, the number of round wins will be listed at the highest number of first places, second places, third places, and so on. If there's a tie, then the second place, then the third place, so on and so forth. If you have a situation where there's a same pair or team places first in both methods of calculating the winner, then that pair is the uncontested winner. So that, in other words, if you are in the cumulative method and the rounds 1 method, then obviously you're the winner. There's no place. In the event that any different athlete places higher using the second method and receives more round wins than the cumulative score winner, then those athletes have the right to challenge the winner to a tiebreaker round, right? So one has the higher cumulative score, but one has 1 more rounds, which I have seen happen. The tiebreaker between the methods will use the single elimination format. The athletes qualifying will be seeded, so on and so forth. I don't want to get into all the specifics of it. Scoring. The referees will use blind scoring. This is very frightening for a lot of referees. I happen to like it. The referees do not see each other's scores. They will not see the scores till the end of each division. Athletes and coaches can see the scores after the performance. Now, there's a point gap rule. In any point past the 4th round of competition, the competitor that's won 4 rounds and is 1.5 points ahead of the next person will automatically be declared the winner. In other words, that's deemed the point of no return. You've won 4 rounds, you're 1.5 ahead, you're automatically the winner. Okay? In the event that you don't have those 2 things, they continue to go until all of the Poomsae are done, or it reaches that point where there's 4 round ones and a 1.5 gap. Okay? Now, the same will hold true in the last place gap. And again, a lot of this is not necessarily going to come into play because there's not going to be that many of these higher gold-jacketed teams and pairs. But they just want to make sure they have all of their bases covered. And these are basically the same rules for team trials. Is that if you're on the bottom and you're losing and you have more than 1.5 gap between you and the next highest person. In other words, you're at the bottom of the gap by 1.5, you're automatically eliminated. You don't need to continue. That makes perfect sense. All of the eligibility requirements are listed. They're no different. Again, remember, these are done for World Games, so they're using the World Taekwondo eligibility requirements. And you can go visit USA Taekwondo's website specifically for this issue, for the special team trials, for the new divisions. Again, remember, where does this come out of? This is still an evolving thing because we haven't seen all of these new changes that we've been talking about for Poomsae are designed for the World Championships. That's always what happened. And the fact of the matter is we'll see how it plays out at that event. I think it's going to be exciting. I know Dr. Yoon has been working on it. I took my international referee seminar. This was a big focus and a big discussion and a big time, so I was really glad I took it at the time that I did to be up to date. But we shall see. This Grand Prix final is an exciting event for athletes that medaled at the Grand Prix, those that medaled at nationals. They'll have the opportunity to compete.
Do you believe?